Giúmri resurfaced from the ashes after the terrible earthquake in 1988. Only a few buildings, such as the Armenian Church of St. Neashan or the Russian Orthodox Church, were left standing. The creative talent of the Armenian people and the tenacity of the 250,000 inhabitants of Giúmri made the restoration and beautification of the second most important city in Armenia a reality. Famous buildings include the National Museum of Architecture and Urban Life and the magnificent sculptural representation of Mother Armenia in Gorky Central Park, which honors the memory of those patriots who died during World War II. Albert Bartanyan is an Armenian artist of universal renown who has his studio workshop in Giúmri. His sculptures have traveled around the world, and many countries proudly exhibit his work, which systematically expresses universal concepts such as peace, hope, war, and pain. Pieces as delicate as this attractive figure of a woman emerge from his miraculous hands. Traveling northwards on our way to Lori, one of the 10 Marses, or provinces of the country, the horizon widens spectacularly. It is a stunning area, enhanced by the Bazoum Mountains, that soften the cold winds coming from neighboring Georgia and provide an appropriate climate for camping in the midst of a comforting solitude. If such outdoor adventure is not for you, this luxurious hotel is the ideal alternative for enjoying an unforgettable vacation. Right on the banks of the crystal-clear Domed River, it is a great starting point for taking long walks and exploring the magic of Armenia's northern plateaus. Sheltered by the farmlands of Lori Berd, which was already an ancient settlement in the 2nd and 3rd centuries BC, we see the religious symbols announcing our arrival at a fortress that was once the emblematic defense fortification of the capital of the kingdom of Tashiz Zoraget. A vast domain that in the year 989 AD included territories of present-day Armenia, parts of Azerbaijan and Georgia. Fort Lori has the enchanting characteristic of the medieval enclaves, and even though it is practically in ruins, we can still recognize the inaccessibility that characterized it more than 10 centuries ago. A new surprise awaits us in Odzun. The Domed Basilica, rebuilt in the early part of the 8th century by the Catholicos Saint Hovhan III of Odzun. In addition to its successful conservation, this church is a sanctuary of great artistic value to Christianity, because its walls are believed to house the oldest known image of Jesus with the Virgin, carved in stone. The recurring Khachkash announced the proximity of another religious monument. In this case, it is the Sanahin Monastery, near the town of Alaverdi. Once again, when contemplating its complex internal structure, the very high quality of the religious buildings developed in Armenia between the 11th and 13th centuries becomes evident. No less striking is the Hackpad Monastery, also near Alaverdi, which, like neighboring Sanahin, has been declared a World Heritage Site. The most characteristic carvings are the Armenian Crosses, which usually have a trilobed ending on the upper and lateral arms, and no two of which are alike. The cross of Hashkar is almost always a living cross, with foliage growing out of its base, a symbol of life and rebirth or resurrection after death.